You probably read the title of this video and thought, what does she mean by that? Allow me to explain. I'm going to tell you about a time where I pushed my boundaries so far to the point where I didn't even realize how much I was sacrificing myself until I had no choice but to choose myself in the situation. So get comfy, grab a snack, drink your water, because I know you're probably dehydrated, and prepare to experience some secondhand embarrassment. Now this story involves my ex-situationship, who I know I mention a lot on this channel, okay, but I'm just a chill girl who has very little relationship experience, so cut me some slack. Plus, this relationship taught me a lot. For context, it was a 7-month situationship where we did all the relationship stuff just without the title. He broke it off because he didn't want the official title, and I did. And then fast forward like half a year later, 6 months later, he reaches out, breaks no contact, we fall back into old patterns. We're calling, texting, FaceTiming every single day. When we wake up, throughout the day, on each other's work breaks, before we fall asleep. So one day he calls me and asks if I'm busy. And I was in the middle of doing homework before I had to go to work. But I was like, no, I'm not busy at all. What's up? I'm not busy. No, what's up?
Stand up!
He'd been having car trouble for like the whole month, and he asked me if I could come pick him up to take him to the car shop to pick up his car. Keep in mind that I had work in 2.5 hours. I still had an assignment due that day. And also, he and I lived an hour apart both ways. Now, should I have said yes to this favor that he asked of me with all that in mind? Probably not. But I was desperate to see this man because in the span of the 3 months we'd been talking and reconnecting, we had only hung out one singular time.
Damn!
Any other time we tried to hang out, he would always come up with some sort of excuse for why we couldn't go through with it, which was very different from the situationship that we had because we would see each other all the time, every week, sometimes multiple times a week, and he would always make an effort to want to see me and go through with plans. So this time it was kind of like, pretend this is like a line and I'm a fish, and he's like, oh, let's hang out, psych! Oh, let's hang out, psych! Oh, let's hang out, psych! And the psych is like the excuses. It's like, excuse. You get what I mean? He would say things like, oh, we can't hang out all the time because of our history. And then he would say, oh, I want to see where things go with us. And we would flirt all the time. I was so caught up in this idea of us working out that I ignored every single red flag. So when he asked me for this favor, when he's like, hey, can you come pick me up and take me to the car shop? I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I finally get to see him again. Like, maybe it's not on my terms, but at least I'll get to see him, even if it's just for an hour. Like, at least it's something.
Loser!
So, I throw on my jacket, close my MacBook, get in the car, toss my work clothes in the back seat because I realized that I would not have enough time to go home and change before work. Like, I would have to change in my car. So, throw everything in the back seat, and I'm just on the way. I also didn't eat anything that day. Like, I went all day without eating because I was like, oh, I can just eat before I go to work. But I didn't have time to eat before going to work now because I had to go pick him up and take him to the car shop. But I convinced myself that it was worth not eating if I just got the chance to see him.
Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help!
Are you noticing a pattern here? It's giving self-destructive, it's giving low self-worth, it's giving concerning. Anyways, I pick him up, the drive is fine, and I remember I was telling him about a frustrating situation I was having with a friend, right? Because I was going through something with a friend and I was kind of venting to him about it, and he was sitting here, I was sitting there, and he turns to me and he says, "You're too nice." And that is when everything clicked.
Light bulb.
And a couple weeks later, I initiated no contact between us because to some extent, he was right. I was way too nice. Like, I got dressed for work in a parking lot and then had to rush and finish my homework assignment that night before the clock struck 12.
Stand up!
And I remember before I initiated no contact, days before, like a week before, we were on the phone and I was like, you were only willing to see me and hang out with me when you needed a favor. But every other time I ask you to hang out, you never want to see me. And he laughed and he was like,
oh yeah, I know, I was kind of pushing my luck there. I was surprised you even said yes.
oh. And all I could think was, okay, now I feel stupid because I was abandoning myself, I was ignoring my own boundaries, I was letting his inconsistent behavior slide, I was accepting breadcrumbs and excuses, you get the point, the list goes on. I don't share this story to bash my ex or paint him as a bad guy and me as the victim. I don't really think that that's necessary. There's no hard feelings, and he just wanted something differently than I did. That's okay, it happens. But when someone continues to push your boundaries and oversteps and you feel guilty, let me remind you, you are not abandoning someone when you choose yourself. It's like that really cool Tyler the Creator trend going on right now with his song Like Him on TikTok, where people are like reflecting on how they used to be and how much they've grown and how they no longer resonate with their old self and their old patterns. Like, it's a really cool trend, and I also love that song. It's like, now, if you're the type of person who's used to just being there for people and putting other people first, then setting boundaries is going to be hard. You might have this mindset where it's like, well, I just believe that everybody has flaws, so I just want to extend grace to people. I want to be there for them no matter how much they hurt me, and I just want to give them chance after chance after chance. But it's like, okay, yes, while everybody may have flaws, don't mistake someone's blatant disrespect and manipulation for flaws. Those are two very different things. Someone else's flaws is not your burden to carry, because protecting your peace is not overreacting, it's self-respect. Like, I have a good friend, and we went through a rough patch this year, and it got to a point where I just felt like they were constantly overstepping and crossing my boundaries, and I had to tell them, like, hey, I don't think I want to continue a friendship with you anymore. And this caused a shift in our dynamic, but it made it so that we were able to work through things and stay friends. And it taught me a big lesson. It taught me that you get to decide how much you are willing to tolerate from a person. Not every single person is going to be able or capable of respecting your boundaries, but it's up to you to decide, am I going to continue to tolerate poor behavior and hope for a different result, or am I going to finally put my foot down and say enough is enough? I watched this video the other day, and it was like, the biggest lie you've ever been sold is the one you tell yourself when you know you deserve better but are too scared to go find it. If you're struggling to let go of someone because it feels like you're abandoning them, then maybe that's really your subconscious telling yourself that you're abandoning yourself. Hi, editing me here. I just wanted to quickly jump in and say that when I was coming up with this video idea, my mind was like thinking, okay, the person that pushed and overstepped my boundaries the most was my ex. But after doing some reflecting, I think that the person who pushed the boundaries the most was actually myself. I wanted to be the chill girl, you know, the girl that like doesn't have needs, didn't want to rock the boat, she could handle anything, she could go with the flow. But in doing so, I was literally telling myself that my needs don't matter. And I would completely ignore my boundaries time and time again. And while yes, my ex did definitely overstep my boundaries every now and again, he didn't know the full extent of how bad it was hurting me, because I wasn't speaking up until it was too late, and I was too hurt because I wasn't saying anything earlier. And so I would just let the hurt pile on and on and on until I was like, I can't do this anymore. So, and honestly, thinking about it now, before I went no contact with my ex, it took me a week to actually finalize it and be like, I can't do this anymore. And during that week, I kept going back and forth with myself, like, I think I need to walk away. And then there was like that little voice in the back of my head, like that negative core belief that was like, whoa, 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 hold on. I know where you're coming from, but better idea, possibly. How about we just wait this out, wait for him to choose us, and then when he doesn't choose us, we can just stay in this familiar loop of pain and feeling unwanted. It's familiar and it's comfortable, so why don't we just stay here? How about you just don't walk away? I really think that my negative core belief was trying to keep me stuck in a loop of proving my worth, and while it was a painful loop to be in, I also think that like because it was so familiar, like I knew what to expect from it, so walking away was scarier. Even though it was the healthier decision, it was scarier because I didn't know what to expect from it. It was like, oh shit, I actually have to learn a new healthier pattern. Oh shit, I actually have to grow. That was a little bit intimidating. So while my ex definitely did make mistakes, I had to learn that respecting my boundaries starts with me first and foremost. It's not just about other people treating you better, it's about you showing yourself that you deserve to be treated better. And that means speaking up, enforcing those boundaries, and showing up for yourself and choosing yourself even when it's scary. Hopefully that all made sense. I just felt like it was really important for me to come in and dive a little bit deeper into that topic. Also, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a hoodie inside, first off, mind your business. Second off, my edges aren't done. So, back to the regular scheduled program. Third off, mind your business. I recently read this quote that was like, normalize not trying harder to keep people who make you feel unwanted. And I think that needs to be normalized in 2025, especially for my anxiously attached people, especially for my lover girls, lover boys, lover theys. Like, sometimes you're going to have to walk away from the people that you think you need, the people that you've convinced that you just have to have in your life and you have to cling on to and never let go of. Sometimes you're going to have to walk away from those people in order to finally receive what it is that you want. Sometimes separation is necessary for growth. What are the characteristics that you look for in a friend or a family member or a partner? Because when you write down these characteristics that you look for and that you need, you can really see that, like, if a person is incapable of meeting those needs, if they're not ticking off the boxes, and obviously, like, people aren't perfect, maybe they're not going to tick off every single box, but if barely any of those boxes are being ticked off, then I think that's a clear, distinct sign that there's some sort of compatibility issue going on. At the end of the day, we are all still learning, and this life shit is gonna get tough every now and again. But what's the point of a relationship without mutual respect and a genuineness to make each other feel seen, heard, and loved? What's the point without effort? Those are like the main components that make a relationship work. So if you're currently thinking about letting someone go, just remember that you are not abandoning someone when you choose yourself. And some people are going to be okay with losing you. Let them be okay with that. In the end, I ended up benefiting. Like with my ex, even though I did not want to walk away, it took almost everything in me to walk away, I felt a sense of peace afterwards. It wasn't exactly immediate, but I definitely was able to, like, get the closure that I needed within myself and remind myself that I was making the right choice. I was making the best decision for me and for him and for us at that time. And with my friend, we worked through our issues and stayed friends because they were like, no, I want to be a better friend to you. I want to learn about your boundaries more and respect them. And I was like, I want to be a better friend to you. And now we are better friends with healthier communication and stronger boundaries. So, like, it was a win-win situation. Letting go can sometimes feel like an ending because you can't see the bigger picture. You can't see what your life will look like without this person 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, right? But I truly do believe that, like, letting go can be the beginning of something better. Whether it's a healthier relationship or peace or both. Sometimes you just have to face the fear and do it anyway, like Gabriella did in High School Musical 3 when she sang, walk away, yeah. And she was like, just walk away and don't look back. Sometimes you just gotta walk away and don't look back. I saw this post that was like, December is for, it was like, December, detach, delete, like get rid of everything that you don't want to bring into 2025 with you. And I really feel like the same goes for just setting boundaries and respecting yourself more and letting go of people that are totally cool with letting go of you. So yeah, and with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, prove it by giving it a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments a boundary that you are proud of setting this year or that you look forward to setting this year. I'm curious, so let me know. Bye! Drink your water, because I know you're probably dehydrated. That was a call out. I'm super dehydrated. My head hurts.